I told him this is his stage and everyone else is visiting.
Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome.
See, we should have had her on a long time ago.
Right?
That's exactly what I expected.
Yep.
Okay. So, what's your advice to everybody who's going to bet money on the show tonight? What's your advice?
Should have bet on Nick.
Should have bet on Nick. Okay. This is a very wild little experiment we're doing here.
Yeah, this is. Like, we're literally doing what we would normally do.
You know, streaming out, you know.
Yeah, we're literally doing what we would normally do.
I'm just going to have to ignore this. Are we live yet?
Yeah, we're recording.
We're recording?
Yeah, this
Crazy.
is happening now.
You know, it's funny, without any announcement or anything like that, you just like put me on the spot. Boom, microphone, here we go.
Yeah, well, you sat down in the seat.
Okay, well, welcome to the Mutant Booth at the 2023 Arnold Classic. All right, you know, I mean, I expected Dusty to be here, but
Yeah.
last minute, Scott's here too.
So we're not all in focus, I'm seeing here.
I prefer to not be in focus. I look better.
Dusty's in as much focus as we want,
Hey,
Yes.
hey, Nikki.
I would say.
Hey, Nikki, can you bring that camera around just a little bit more?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, like bring the whole thing. There we go.
Look at that.
There we go. And then angle it. Yeah, that
Boom.
way. There we go. That looks good.
She knows her angles.
I might need you again.
Fact.
I might need you again. And that I guess looks all right.
Hey?
So this is what we're looking at, Ron. We're looking at that.
Okay, that's not bad.
We're looking at that. Your
I got
arm
a
looks
good,
bigger there.
I got a good arm shot there, Scott. Unintentional. I'm happy about that.
And then we're also looking at that.
Okay, that's cool.
That's like everybody out here. So
Okay,
we can actually see like what's going on in the
Ah.
classic right now.
Scott.
We can see this jack
So
dude
I
over
have
here.
to thank you, Scott, for you put in a ton of work to set this up. And I
Oh,
know we're
my
doing this
pleasure.
kind of experimentally,
Yeah.
but wow, like you did a lot. I saw you over here hustling. You're
I'm still sweating.
sweating.
Well, here's the other thing. I didn't bring a Mutant t-shirt, but I wanted to continue representing, so I'm like, I had to keep the hoodie on.
You could have just asked me. We have boxes of shirts like right back there.
It's too late now.
You know, I didn't want to interfere with your fashion.
I'll be peeled by tomorrow
Yeah,
morning. I'll be
yeah,
so
yeah.
dry after this.
So I have to remind everybody who's watching the recorded version of this that will go up on YouTube
Yes.
to like, share, subscribe, comment, and
Ring the bell.
there you go.
Ring the bell.
See, that felt funny to do live because it applies to the people watching later.
Yeah.
You know?
How's it going?
Hey,
We got a few people hanging with us.
there's no bell.
There will be when you get home.
There you go.
So, out of the two people standing here right now, are either of you listeners of the podcast? Okay,
Yes.
we got one out of
There we
two,
go.
two out of
There
four.
we go, there we
two
go.
out of four people.
There you go.
Are listeners
50%.
of the podcast.
We got a 50% so
So,
far.
Ron, we should tell people what is this?
So we just wanted to see what it would be like to do a live podcast fully exposed to the room, you know, with like everyone right up against us and, you know, some of the listeners coming by and, you know, just see how it went, you know, see what we could do, you know, real quick, set it up. You did a great job.
Thank you.
You know?
We should get people involved. Since we have a few people standing here, we should totally get people involved.
Absolutely.
Who's your favorite guest ever, Josh?
No pressure.
I know he watches.
Grab my mic. Grab my mic. Now.
Quick. Jay.
There we go.
He said
some
Jay.
mics there.
Jay
Cutler.
Jay's your favorite? Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Well, we had some trivia, didn't we?
We did have some
We
trivia.
actually had two trivia stories. One of them happened in Russia, and one of them happened in Ohio. Okay? And so out of the four people, plus Nikki, you count 5 people that we have watching, we want you guys to vote. Did it happen in Ohio or did it happen in Russia? All right?
Here we go. What is the thing?
This is Ohio
So,
or Russia?
The first story, and I actually have it here. I'm going to pull this up so that I can read a little bit of this. Let me see. I got too many windows open. Don't worry, guys. I closed all the porn
Did
out.
it happen in Russia?
Right.
No one else can see it but
Or
us.
did it
It's fine.
happen
It's
in
fine.
Ohio?
Okay. Yes.
I know both the stories, actually, Scott.
You know the stories.
Yeah.
Here's the first one. And let me pull this up here. And I'll pull this up for the people who are watching at home. Oh, it might give it away. It gave it away because it says.
Oh, it said
no,
right on it.
no, don't say anything. So in 1929, who was Eugene the Mummy? In 1929, a drifter who died of natural causes was embalmed by a local funeral home and then put on display in hopes that someone would be able to identify him. He turned into a roadside attraction. Reportedly, some 15 million people stopped by to see Eugene's corpse over the next 4 decades.
He was put on a couch and left in a neighboring building
Yeah.
for 40 years
Yeah.
until he was finally buried and the city paid for it.
Yeah. So we have to vote. Did that happen in Russia or did that happen in Ohio?
And now do we give him the second story now?
Do we give it? Do we?
Oh,
we
one
have
at a
2
time.
stories.
One
Let's
at
do
a
it one
time.
at a time. Let's do it
Okay, one at a time.
So, show of hands. Did it happen in Ohio? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
these
6,
people.
7. Or did it happen in Russia?
Man, Ohio must
Oh.
be hardcore.
What? Oh, I should have flipped to the audience, right? We should have been like this.
That was good.
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
good.
Putting on like
That's
that.
okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
So, okay. Did we tell them, Ron?
Well, they know.
Do the second story. Let's do the second story.
Second story? Okay.
I remember the second one.
I got the second one here too. I've actually got it like
Queued up.
Queued up, yes.
The one about the cows?
Yeah, the one about the cows, Ron. So here's the second story, and this has to do with dairy farming. And now the question, in case anybody's just walking up, did this happen in Russia or did this happen in Ohio? All right, here we go. So, let's see. This has to do with virtual reality. The herd, they use these virtual reality cameras, right, Ron, on these cows.
Yep.
And it said the herd donned VR systems adapted to the structural features of cow heads, and we're showing unique summer field simulation programs. Now, the idea of this is that they would then, because they were happy, they would produce more milk. And guess what? They did.
It worked.
It worked.
So they had cows with VR headsets on them, and they were
Yeah.
producing more milk. Did that happen in Ohio,
So, once again, we're going to do a vote here.
or did that
Did
happen
it
in
happen
Russia?
in Ohio or did it happen in Russia? Let's see. Show of hands. Let's go with Ohio first. We got 1, 2, 3 over there.
3 Ohios.
Three
Four
Ohio's.
Ohio's. And now, did it
Did it-
happen in Russia?
Oh,
We got Russia,
3,
Russia,
4,
Russia.
5. Okay.
Okay. So, what was that? 3 Russias?
Yeah, yeah,
Russia's
something like that.
4 Ohios.
So, how do we do this now? Do we just give them
Hey, we just tell them. It's just fun.
Oh, yes.
Eugene the Mummy is an
Ohio.
Ohio legend. Happened in Ohio.
Which, that's why she knew. She's
That's
like,
why she
I
knew.
know.
You knew this.
But they
You
should
knew
know.
this.
They live here.
Yeah.
And the VR headsets on the cows was in Russia.
VR headsets on the
I feel like
cows
they're ahead of
were in
us on
Russia.
that.
I would think that the cows would be here.
So now, Dusty, we need a VR headset for you so that you're more productive.
That's not going to happen, but I would like to be left on the side of the road for 40 years. That would be sick. I'm good with that.
I
Yes.
learned a lot about this incredible state researching some of the fun stuff
Did
for
you?
this show. Yeah.
What else did you learn?
Well, remember I forgot Dave Grohl was from Ohio.
The what?
Remember I forgot Dave Grohl was from Ohio.
Oh yeah, Dave Grohl.
You know,
Yeah.
barely counts. He's born here, but whatever.
And Steven Spielberg.
Yes.
Also
Also in
from
Ohio.
Ohio.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
A lot of going on here. Did we get any over-unders?
We got some over-unders. We actually got a bunch of questions too.
Let's
Okay.
roll them.
But I also have some pictures of a lot of the competitors that are competing at the Arnold Classic.
Well, we just watched the classic prejudging.
Yeah, we did.
Like, awesome seats.
Literally, like feet from us. We're sitting right here, and if you just like, boom, right there's the stage.
Yeah. Pretty awesome.
A lot of jacked people walking around here.
We watched the wellness while we were setting up. We
Yeah.
watched the classic while we were waiting. We saw some figure,
Saw it all.
you know?
So, what do you guys think tonight?
I'm I'm still going to go with my call of Nick winning the show. I don't want to change my prediction at the last minute, so I'm going to go with that.
Well, what about for Classic?
You got to really project, Dusty.
What about Classic?
There you go.
It's tight. I'm going to say Ramon.
I don't think it's that tight.
You don't think it's that tight?
No.
There were a couple poses where I thought it was tighter than before,
Okay.
but I'm going to say Ramon.
He's too sliced. I got him winning
That's
for sure.
the reason.
Yeah. Sliced out of his head. It's all put together.
I thought that Urs actually had a bigger back double.
Right.
Like he's, you know what I mean? Urs has a bigger back double.
Yeah.
But with the total detail pose to pose,
Yeah, it's just
I'd
too
do
much.
Ramon.
Too much to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? We had some audience questions that they sent in.
we did.
I want those. I want
All right,
those.
cool.
Let's
see
do
what we
some of
got
those.
here. Got a bunch of questions. Let's start here. And by the way, you know what? We should take any audience questions. Anybody who shows up and they want to
Yeah,
ask
of
any
course.
questions. But love the podcast. But as much as Dusty loves Nick because he's a freak, this is more of a comment. And
Right.
I wanted to make a topic out of it. Because he's a freak. The idea of bodybuilding wasn't for freaks. It was supposed to be the perfect aesthetic muscular physique. It's supposed to be a body that everyone wants to have. Unfortunately, it's been hijacked by judges that want freaks.
Well,
Can you comment?
I think it's been hijacked by fans who want freaks.
there you go.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what pays the bills. I mean, it's as popular as Classic is and all those, and I love it. There's a reason that open bodybuilding isn't at the expo. Because fans will pay to see open bodybuilding because at the end of the day, like Jose said, they're all freaks, but everybody wants to come see the bearded lady. Want to see the freakiest person here, and at this show, I think that's Nick Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the natural progression of everything. I don't really necessarily subscribe to the idea that bodybuilding was ever supposed to be about the perfect physique. You know what I mean? Like the what other people would want. I don't think that was ever really like a real thing. It's always gonna, you know, just even think of Arnold when Arnold was winning. Not
Yeah.
everyone, you know, that wasn't necessarily true either. He was still considered, you know, ridiculous monster to so many people. So it wasn't like it used to be appealing to everyone. It never really was.
Yeah.
So I don't really think that that's a factor that I would lean into.
Yeah, because Arnold is only appealing now because we've gone so much further that people can look back and say, oh, that was achievable, which I also laugh at.
Right.
It's like when people say, well, you know, Chris Bumstead's, the reason he's popular is that's something you can do. No, you can't.
Yeah, I know.
No, you can't. you can do Bumstead about as well as you can do Nick Walker.
Yep. Yeah. You're
Oh
not
my
gonna.
gosh!
You're
It
not
is
gonna be.
Chris Duffin walking
Oh my
by
goodness.
right now. Oh
Chris
wait, he's coming
Duffin.
back behind you.
No way.
What's up, man?
How we doing? What are we talking about?
What's going
We're
on?
talking about bodybuilding and everything else.
I don't know a damn thing. I mean, look, I got nothing for. I got,
What do you-
I used to have traps. I used to have traps, but you know,
What are you doing here at the Arnold?
looking good.
Looking fly?
Yeah.
He's got the cutoff flannel thing going on right now.
I'm here with Barefoot. So
Oh, nice.
yes,
Do you have your
Your
barefoot
shoe.
shoes on right now?
I do.
Dude,
There you
those
go.
are so cool.
I didn't even know you had shoes on.
Are you guys training your feet too?
I'm training my feet to be beat up clubs by wearing these chucks. I know you probably hate these things.
The toe box is too narrow. The wrap is on it. It doesn't have the torsional. You
Tell me
realize
more,
you
tell
can-
me more.
You can exhibit so much more power. Like that, the tendon on that big toe runs all the way up through the calf, all the way to this back side of this knee right here. So we've got control of the knee, its ability. It also creates the arch of your foot and your ability to express your power. Like we can spend a lot of time like on machines trying to target muscles in different ways, but that's our key into this. Like our connection to the ground and our ability, like our lack of strength there. People want to chase the things all the time. Like I've got a knee pain, I've got back pain, I've got all the, like you're always trying to chase this. Well, what if you woke up every day and you went, my elbow hurts, it's a little sore, I'm gonna wrap it with an elbow wrap.
Right,
And it feels better, it does, right?
right.
But what would happen if you did that every day, all day long?
Yeah.
Your arm would get weak, right? and then you start having problems elsewhere in your body, right? I mean, just flat, simple. And so when we package up and don't use that, what does the body do? Neurologically, after those muscles get weak and you're trying to move around it, what happens is the body starts trying to protect it, so it starts inhibiting the range of motion.
Right.
That's why when people squat like shit, they have very little hip mobility, right? That's why everybody seems to have like ankle mobility problems. Well, your foot's fucking weak. No wonder, right? And then it also reduces your power output. Now that's the money.
Right.
So if your power output's reduced and you're trying to do squats, you're training at 80%.
Yeah.
You're not even taking advantage of everything that you can do. Like,
Well, can I see a question? How do you feel about, I don't know if I've heard people call it, like when you put your foot on the leg press and you kind of curl your toes like a raptor foot, like to create like a solid, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. So, they're creating tension in the system that way, but you need to be able to use your foot in all its avenues. So we need to be able to spread that.
So you would
foot. We
rather
need to be able
spread
to
the
touch
toes
that.
out.
You want to spread and you want to be able to press and push down with that, but you also have to have flexibility. So like if that big toe's lacking the flexibility, then immediately you're going to have some inhibition all the way up again through the function of the knee.
Okay.
There's your quad, there's your calves, there's your everything, right?
Should someone not do that?
It's more about what I'm trying to say is, as a whole, you just need to spend some time using your foot so that it gets stronger.
Right.
So the best thing that you can do as a bodybuilder is that anytime you're doing calf raises, kick your shoes off and actually push your raise all the way through the ball of your foot and then let it stretch and open all the way down. Make sure that you're opening those toes up and spending some time. Like build the strength and function of that foot. Be able to move and rotate it around. And you're going to see your potential for strength go up, and your tightness, your injuries, all your issues kind of go down.
Awesome.
And so, one of them, like some magic to how I deadlifted and squatted 1,000 pounds. Well, yeah, there's a lot of fucking shit that went into it. I did those barefoot, and I did all my training barefoot, right? My feet are jacked.
Right.
You open up, you can see the muscles in my foot. They're jacked. I have control of it, and I'm somebody, I don't do mobility work, and I can come close to probably doing the splits right now.
So
I've squatted and deadlifted 1,000 pounds for reps.
Right. So where can they get your shoes? Where can they get your shoes?
Yeah, barefoot, like a bear.
Awesome.
Booth 1642 if you're here.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I love the idea.
And if not, so if not, like, just take your shoes off if you can and spend some time. Like, do some of your accessory work, your warm-ups around your house. Like, just spend some time outside of it. The shoe isn't the answer.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't say that as having a shoe company, right?
One more time.
It just facilitates
Yeah.
you to be able to do that.
Okay. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
We appreciate it, man. We'll have to have you on the show.
Hey,
We'll have to have you on.
Thanks, Chris. We appreciate it, man.
Jose, come here. Come here. Right now.
I really appreciate it. Really happy to meet Chris.
You're in. You've been brought onto the show just like this.
What's up, Columbus?
Yeah.
How are you guys all doing?
What's happening?
We got Jose here.
Here's the deal.
Jose's coming in for a minute.
There we go.
What's up, boys?
How are we?
I'm good.
Jose doesn't need a chair.
What did you
No, I'm the same height as you guys standing. And if I stand down here, I'm shorter.
So what are you thinking? Did you watch prejudging?
Yeah, I think Ramon's got it pretty good. But I tell you, Urs is probably the biggest superstar in the division. Like other than Bumstead, his posing, his presentation, he sets everything up. Like he's so fun to watch,
Right.
and he poses bigger than he is.
Right.
Like Ramon's clearly bigger than him, but there's a few poses where you're like, I don't know.
Right.
But when they turned around, Ramon was just so ridiculous that it kind of ended there.
Right, the detail.
Yeah, and Ramon's gotten better. He's better than he was at the Olympia. His presentation is better.
Right.
He's making those improvements. He's still very fresh to this sport. He
Right.
hasn't been around long. But I think he's winning here.
Love
Sure.
it. What we got to ask too? How do you see the Open going without seeing anybody yet?
Well, I've seen one guy.
So have
Yeah. So I'm really, first and foremost, I'm biased to Sean Clarita.
Right.
I think, all things considered, every little nuance of bodybuilding, Sean is the top 2 or 3 in the planet.
Right.
Of any height, of any division, of anything. Sean, you could argue higher.
Right.
You know, but let's see what they do. Is the height going to hurt him that much? Sean is so well put together, so balanced, so much muscle for that frame. If anyone is off, Sean beats him.
Right. Sure.
It's unfortunate that we have to say it that way if anyone's off, because they're just bigger versions of him, but maybe not as good. I don't know.
Right.
It's so weird.
It's one of the craziest lineup issues I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like this particular lineup with Sean at this particular point in his career.
Yeah.
You know, if it would have been any other year, but it's this year. He's 2-time. He's the best, and
And he's improved.
Yeah, improved.
That's the most important thing. He's gotten better. You know, I competed with him years ago. And
Yeah.
he was certainly not someone I was worried about at the time.
Right.
But by my last show of my career, he passed me. He beat me.
Right.
And he's 10 times better than that now.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised if he won. I would love to see him win.
No matter what happens, I think that it's very possible that he steals the show.
Very possible.
He could steal the show. He could win the crowd. It could be Sean's evening, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, well, I think he's going to win the crowd.
Did you guys see this picture here? Hold on, let me pull
What's
it
that?
in. Did you guys see this picture
The
here?
rear lat spread,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't put a whole lot of stock into the Instagram stuff, but, you know, my brain just tells me, all right, you're 8 pounds heavier. You're not going to be better.
Right.
It's not like he was sneaking into the 212 and now he can be 8 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
Sean's a smart guy. He brings his condition no matter what.
Yeah.
He's not going to be 8 pounds heavier. He might be a pound or 2, but he doesn't need to be 8 pounds heavier to beat bigger guys.
No.
He needs to be sharp. He needs to play his game and be smart, and that's what's going to win it for him. Being bigger is not going to win it for him.
Yeah.
But that said, I as Dusty said, there's a new guy in town, and he's only been a pro a year today. And the amount of impact he's going to make and the improvements that he has made are so ridiculous. Like, it's going to be shocking, I think, like how much better this guy is than what we last saw. And it could be so shocking that he beats everyone.
Right.
You know, and then not only that, but goes on to do things at the Olympia. You know?
Right. Well, we saw a photo.
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing him every day for 6 weeks in videos and different light, and you know, now I'm convinced. I'm a believer. You know, we'll see. You know, Fuad did a video yesterday about Samson being 297, and my brain went the same place as I did with that picture of Sean, like 8 pounds heavier. I'm like, if Samson is, what, 5, 6, 7 pounds heavier than he was at the Olympia?
Yeah.
That's not good.
Right.
That's not a good thing. So I don't know why that was such a big piece of information. Like, he needed, if he was 294 at the Olympia, he needs to be 284. And then I'd be like, oh,
Right.
we might be onto something. But him being heavier doesn't do anything for his physique. He needed to be drier. He needed to be leaner. So you don't put on 8 pounds and yeah. So it didn't make sense to me. So if he is, let me tell you this right now, I'll make a prediction. If he's 297, Andrew's going to beat him, and probably Sean, and likely Nick.
Right.
Okay.
If he's peeled out of his mind, it's an open ball game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Jose knows his shit, and I know that he's seeing people every day.
Yeah, I know bodybuilding. I lived it, and I know that, you know, people are like, oh, Jose, you can do an open show. the show I did with you.
Yep.
All right, so people are like, all right, Jose doesn't have to get down to 212 anymore. He's going to be like 220 on stage. I weighed myself the day of the show. I was 203.
Yep.
I was like 210 at the Olympia and went down even more. And not on purpose. I was dieting for another 7-8 weeks.
Yep.
Right.
So I almost won the show. Yeah. So the number on the scale is not the most important thing.
Right.
And it usually tells me when people are so concerned about the scale that they're not really in shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that's not the case.
Yeah, we could all get shocked, you know. Well, it's going to be one of the most exciting Arnolds I remember ever being at. What was the first time you came here?
97.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We have a winner.
Yeah.
We have a winner.
90s. I was coming back then just to get drunk and party. And,
Wait, that stopped?
yeah,
Eventually?
I'm an old man now. I would just come here with my buddies, and we'd walk around this fart-filled expo, and we'd go to the show, and then go out late night party in McCormier, and
Go to Titus's after party.
yeah, all that.
Yeah.
And back then I was like really starstruck to see some of the people. Shannon Sharp would be here at the EAS
Right.
booth, and I was just here for fun. And then obviously I did 5 of them, and I didn't do any partying then. We did a little bit.
We did a little party after the wins.
But this is, you're right. This is the most excited I've been since I was on stage. You know?
Right.
Just the lineup and, having backstage access to Andrew every day, that's made it way more exciting because I watch podcasts like everyone else and listen to people like, no way, he's going to be skinny, he's going to look small, if he comes in condition, he'll have no back. I'm like, his back is incredible. Like, he looks bigger.
I thought he looked way bigger because of his conditioning in the photo that we saw.
Exactly. And from every angle. So it wasn't just that photo, and I believe you guys know what you're talking about too, and if you're thinking the exact same thing I am, we must be on to something. We haven't discussed this.
Yeah, no. We discussed it yesterday.
I did. So I got off I got out of my Uber. And I happened to walk out, and walking by was Chris Lewis. And I just looked. I didn't know if he knew me. He goes, "Oh, hey, Dusty." I said, "How's the boy look?" And he goes, "Oh, good." And I went to walk away. He goes, "No, come here." And he just shows me a glute shot from the side, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Nice.
"Okay."
Yeah.
And then Chris sent me some other pictures. I was like, "Oh, okay."
All
Now I understand.
all the concerns that people have, like his hams, his glutes, I do not see them as an issue whatsoever.
No.
From what I've seen.
Not at all.
Not at all. And he has one of the smallest waists on stage with the widest shoulders. So what does that tell you? And great legs.
And crazy abs in all the shots.
Everything.
And you know what I mean? Like sometimes a guy's got such good abs, you're like, man, it just helps in
every shot.
every shot.
Yeah.
You know, even the quarter turns are just bricks.
Yep.
You know, and I know to us it's like everyone's supposed to have abs. Right? They're not supposed to be that big of a deal.
Right? But that's how you know they're good.
Yeah, they keep drawing your eye, right?
Yeah.
So
He looks to me like a bigger rodent. Very similar.
Yeah.
With the quad sweep in the crazy midsection. But bigger.
right.
Those packs too.
Yeah, and Chris made a good point to me the other day when we were talking, because I always try to play devil's advocate, like, it's so-and-so bigger. And he's like, fuck that. He's like, Sean wasn't the biggest guy when he won. He was just so perfectly put together and peaked
Yep.
that you couldn't deny him.
Yeah.
And if this guy's a bigger version of him, what can he do at this show?
Yeah.
It doesn't have Phil Heath and
Yeah.
who else in it?
Yeah.
I'm just realistic. Of course, anything can happen, but that's where I'm leaning.
Love it.
Here's a question for you. How high does Clarita have to place for you to consider it like a massive success for him?
Top 3. I think he will place top 3.
I've heard other people saying that.
Yeah, because there's no way all 4 of them are going to be at their best.
Yeah.
And I say the all 4 because
You're just talking statistically.
yeah. I've seen pictures of Nick, and Nick is awesome. He might be his all-time best, or he might be too flat.
Right.
Like, if a guy with a wide waist is flat, it's not a good thing.
Right.
I learned that myself the hard way. So I don't know that it's he might be off, by his standards. Samson might be off. And if I had to bet money, I'd say Sean is not going to be off in any way.
No, that's the one guaranteed.
Right.
Conditioning-wise, I think he might be the top.
Right. So I think he's going to be 3rd any way you slice it. I think he's that good.
Yeah.
And the only reason anyone's going to beat him is because they're a bigger version of him. And I don't think 3 other guys are going to nail it to be better.
There we go. There's giant killer shirts all around. Lots of giant killer shirts. Hey, thanks, Jose. We appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you. It's great to see you guys.
Awesome, man.
Absolutely.
I only seem to run into you here in the last couple of years, but that's a good thing. And you're getting thinner and thinner every time I see you. Leaner, I should say.
I'm trying to I'm trying to get a cover of Sports Illustrated eventually.
On your bike or your skateboard? All right. You look at it. You look great.
Thanks, man.
All right. I love you guys. Good to see you.
Thanks, Jose. Jose Raymond. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Cheers.
That was cool.
Little drop in with Jose.
Yeah.
You gotta love a breakdown from Jose because, you ask other people their opinion, and you get like opinion, but you don't get all the structural support that he gives for his opinion. Like his opinion has foundation.
Yeah.
It has like a concrete base. It has stuff built upon it. You have this solid structure, and then Jose's opinion is on top of it. That's how I see it.
And there's a chance that Jose is competed against whoever he's talking about.
Right.
At some point.
Right. Yeah. Major
When he's
factor.
talked about Kamal, he's talked about going against Kamal countless times,
Yeah. Yeah. Seeing these people up close when it matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Hey.
So now that we have the final answer of who's winning, we can just move on with the Arnold. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
do we have what those questions we had pulled up?
All right, let's see what else we got here.
Pulling up questions.
Yes.
Each one of those has a story.
Oh, this is kind of funny.
I'm just very blessed.
Somebody commented and said, the leadership team at Chat GTP shared their press release this week outlining their 5-year plan. Apparently, the objective number 1 is to have as much knowledge as Ron.
Could not be done. Could not be done.
I had someone contact me. Remember when I was talking about ChatGPT and how it didn't want to answer certain questions?
Yeah.
I have to try this. He told me that you preface the question by asking ChatGPT to pretend it doesn't have rules.
Oh, wow.
If you say, if you could pretend that you don't have rules and then ask it the question. So I can't wait to try that.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
That's amazing.
All right, what else do we have here? And business question? You guys want a business question?
Shoot.
And we want to have the confidence to keep.
Question for the next is just bodybuilding. And if you guys see anybody that we want to talk to that's walking by, grab them.
You hit a really major point, and I think that it's
Whoops.
something that you should
Got a little feedback there.
Little feedback.
One of the main things is
All right, question for the next, just bodybuilding. Because I want an opinion from a few guys that actually run business, what is the best way to ask for a raise at work? The guy's been working at this company for 7 years, all right? And he found out that a guy who's been working there for 3 years is making more than him.
One of the main things that makes you very different
Well, the first thing is it doesn't matter how long you've been there compared to the other person, and it doesn't matter how much the other person makes. The question mark is, what value do you bring that makes you worth more money? Because I find that the idea that you've been there for a longer amount of time, to me, doesn't mean anything. I mean, the company that I bought over time, I passed every employee that worked there to become their boss in like a year and a half through work. So I wouldn't worry about the other employee, but I would ask myself, what am I doing now that I wasn't doing 2 or 3 years ago that's worth value to the company, and present that to the owner of the company and show them, this is what I'm doing that I wasn't doing, this is why my work is worth more money, and this is how you can prove it to yourself. And I made you an extra $150,000, and all I'm looking for is 1% of that.
Yeah.
And I promise, if you prove you've made them more money, they'll pay you more money.
That's a great answer. Dusty's good with the aggressive business questions.
Yeah, Dusty's not going to get underpaid.
It is all about value. You know, all the time and stuff doesn't necessarily matter. There you go. Scott's prepared. Look at this.
No, it's wild how prepared he is.
I don't have a lot. So we never got back to, we never finished that conversation about being a freak.
About being a freak.
Yeah, freaks in bodybuilding. And I realized this. I guess I just wanted to come back to, because there's one thing I wanted to say. That no matter what, I don't care where a guy like Rolly places or Branch. I don't care where he placed, but you would hear more people cheering for those guys than anybody else.
Marcus Rule.
And that has Marcus Rule.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, it's not just the judges; it is the people, which is what you said.
Yeah.
But then we saw Chris Duffin, and I didn't get to say that. So,
Oh yeah.
so Chris Duffin squat like 1,001 pounds for 3 reps.
Yeah, crazy stuff. He did some amazing strength shit.
Like, how do you do that? 1,001 pounds for 3.
Yeah. I heard his story about how he trained for that. I heard him talk about how he trained for that.
Yeah.
It was very impressive. Very impressive.
What's the absolute most you ever squatted?
6 plates.
6. So what is that?
585.
It's a lot of weight for reps or a single.
Just a single.
Okay.
I would have been 24 years old. 25 years old.
And then you got smarter.
Yeah. I did it for a single, and then I actually felt like the pressure in my head was actually what was the most dangerous part of the whole thing. Because it was like a real scary single where like I couldn't have done 10 more pounds.
Yeah.
You know?
I've said that before. I'm glad that wasn't 586.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the most I ever squatted. I know, Dusty, you did that for reps, didn't you?
Yeah, I could always rep. I never did anything less than like I think maybe 8 reps. Because I always understood that bodybuilding wasn't about that.
Yeah.
And the risk to reward ratio just wasn't there. But even for me, like we've talked about before, squatting in general was of no value to my physique.
I just had a day one day where I was in the gym and I was normally going up to 5 plates and trying to get like, my peak strength was like 5 plates for 8 really good reps, right? And I was just feeling really great that day, so I did 3 rep warm-ups. I just thought I'm going to see if I can get 6 for a single.
Right.
You know?
Which makes sense. That's how you would approach it, to find out. You did it, and then you got smart after that and said, okay, never again.
Yeah. I recognized the risk. Even walking it back and walking it in, I wasn't used to, you know?
Oh, yeah. That's the magic. I think the walk back is always wild, because you take that first step back and you go, oh, that's heavy.
Yeah.
I got one for Dusty here. Desert Islands. You can only bring 1 seasoning.
What's that?
You can only bring 1 seasoning
Right.
to a desert island.
Man. Is salt a seasoning?
Yeah, I guess it is.
It would have to be salt.
Yeah, that's easy.
That's the only option there. So
The most valuable mineral in the world when you don't have it.
exactly. Find out in a hurry you need salt.
Yeah.
All right, over and underrated.
The last thing you want on a desert island is to be flat.
Yeah, that's the whole reason I said that.
You don't want to go flat. You're on the beach all the time. The last thing you want is to be flat.
Glucose monitors. Over underrated.
For healthy people, overrated.
Yeah, they're not necessary for most people.
What about bodybuilders that want to constantly check to see where they're at?
I still think that's an OCD thing. I mean, I have people that do, but I never in my entire career did. Not once.
Yeah,
We should interview some of our audience here.
we should.
Absolutely. Come in, you're on the show now.
You didn't even ask him if he watches the show.
No, I know he does. I talked to him too.
That's funny. Come on down here.
Who are you?
What's your name?
Sam.
Where are you from?
Oh, I'm Sam from Knoxville, Tennessee.
No kidding.
Knoxville. How many Arnolds you been to? How many Arnolds have you been to?
This is my first one.
First
you're
Arnold.
kidding.
Damn.
What do you
season.
think?
It's been fun. It's a little bit overwhelming. I'm from a small town, so you don't see this.
You don't see this many girls half dressed. Is what you're saying.
Well, no, we see plenty of that. They don't, but that doesn't mean they look the same.
That's so awesome.
Oh,
I literally
hey.
saw I saw an Instagram today. This girl put up, and she's on a beach, and it says, "I'm a Miami 5, but I'm a 10 in an Arkansas Dollar General." And that's what you just made me think of.
Hey, truck girls love me.
How long have you listened to the podcast? Bring your mic up.
At least a few years now.
Oh, you're kidding.
Let's say consistently 3 years.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Almost since the beginning.
Well, yeah.
That's freaking awesome. So are you going to the show and everything too, or just the expo? Or what are you doing?
No, I got the VIP gold pass.
Oh, nice. You're doing the
so
whole
good.
thing.
Pretty
Nice.
much everything.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So who do you have winning the Arnold Classic? No pressure. No pressure.
It's probably going to be Nick.
There we go. Look at that. Look at that. No pressure on the answer. No pressure on the answer. But I did call Nick as well, so.
Same here. I picked him too.
Update pictures have looked great. I seen him last night.
Yep, there we go.
He slips up though. That doesn't mean Dowd can't come in and take it from him.
Yeah. It's a good call. It's a good call.
Beautiful, man. Well, hey, glad we had you on the show. Now this is your first podcast you've been on.
Hey, this is awesome. I'm starstruck right now. I'm such a fanboy right now.
You know what's going to happen? You're going to walk away and you're going to think of 5 things you should have said.
That always happens.
Yeah, I want to make it off that stamp right there.
Awesome, man. It was good having you on.
All right, thanks, guys.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Yeah, what?
Nick Walker's parents.
There we
Hello,
are.
look at the crew.
While we wander them over.
Does Nick's mom want to come and say a word?
We would love to
Come
have
on,
you.
there we go.
We got room for one. Come around behind here. We got Nick's mom. Team
we
Walker
go.
in the house.
Hello.
How are you doing this weekend? Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
You're back to not only defend, right? But 2 times. That's a big. Is the pressure on?
Yeah, I think he'll be the youngest 2-time winner.
That's the goal, eh?
I like
the
that she
goal.
just said 2-time winner because that makes me look good too. I need this.
Yes.
So have you seen like today's pictures, hotel check-ins? Did you see him in person today or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just left him.
Just left him. What do you think?
It's going to
Hey,
win.
does he need more rice? Does he have to eat more rice?
No, he looks great.
Not a chance. Not a chance. I love it.
Can I need to know. I know you're like heavily involved. You're in the circle.
Yes.
Do you know how many grams of carbs he's eating and all that stuff too, or do you
No.
try not to let that stuff?
No. I
Yeah,
don't do
yeah.
that stuff.
Okay, that's good.
I don't care what he eats.
Right. Okay.
Mom doesn't care what he eats as long as he wins.
Right.
Exactly. But he's
You're-
gonna win.
You ignore the diet, but let's see the quads.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I just want to see the look.
What do you look at? What do you look at the most to judge whether you think he's at his best?
Everything.
Everything.
I look at the front, the back. Oh, sorry.
It's not
Everything.
just show me the back double.
His from the back, his inner thighs are shredded.
Right. Okay.
He's got lines that have never
See,
been
that's
there.
what I want to hear. I want to know what the mom thinks. Yeah, the detail stuff.
You're gonna see something you've never seen before.
There we go. Now she's talking. Keep talking.
I told him this is his stage and everyone else is visiting.
Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Okay.
awesome.
See, we should have had her on a long time ago.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I expected.
Yep.
Okay. So, what's your advice to everybody who's going to bet money on the show tonight? What's your advice?
Should have bet on Nick.
Should have bet on Nick. Okay.
We love it. Oh my God. I'm so glad you guys came in. So outside of Nick winning, do you have any idea who you think is going to be a nice second place for it?
Sean.
I love it. That's a great answer.
That'd be a cool show.
I'd be real
That's
happy
awesome.
with that
Yeah.
placing for sure.
Sean looks great.
Yeah, those two next to each other are like the two most complete that there is. That'd be exciting.
Yep.
That would be exciting.
That would be a fantastic picture. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
This guy's battling it out.
It's gonna happen.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Peg Sean for second.
Okay.
You heard it here
okay.
first.
Okay.
Are you guys
I
planning?
love it.
Are you planning any kind of dinner or anything like that afterwards? Like, is there any food that he's gonna want after the show?
No.
Issue difference.
Probably Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good call.
Bodybuilding
If we can
stinks.
find one that's open,
Right, yeah, that late, right?
Or it's just order pizza to the room.
he won't eat pizza.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
No, not even tonight, eh? Or tomorrow night. Okay. Okay.
No.
Okay. There we go.
Last time we won, we went to IHOP because that's all that was open.
Ah. Okay. Okay.
That's the post-Arnold win, IHOP.
Yeah.
That's not a bad call.
No, not at all.
I love it.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
That's
thank
awesome.
you for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for
And
stopping
don't
by.
forget, I always watch.
There we go. I know. I know.
So much better about my votes.
Whenever someone asks predictions, I always feel like there's eyes
Yeah.
on me from like I'm like.
It's me.
Might be watching.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey,
That's
boss.
only at the Arnold.
The boss.
Do you get this interview with Nick's mom?
That's
Only at the
right.
Arnold,
Thank
right?
you.
We should have just got her on the show a long time ago.
I know.
What were we thinking?
Took her a few seconds to realize she could say whatever she wanted.
That's right.
And then she just
got real honest. by
took
the
some
end.
control. Okay.
That was awesome.
Yeah. That's good, you know?
That's good. Yeah.
Hey? I was just happy to see them. Remember last time they came by the booth at the O?
Yeah.
And I was like, they watched the show. Damn. Remember? I was like, we said all that stuff.
Yeah, but we did good. We wrote
Yeah.
your call well that
Still
time.
stayed in the good books long enough to get a second visit. Hey? How long have we been on, Scott?
We've been going for 40 minutes. About.
Okay. Okay.
Let's get those over-unders cranking. We didn't get them done.
What else do we got here? Let's
I
see.
feel like we need those.
All right.
Very difficult, but
Well, this is belt squat or hack squat.
make it stronger. And what's great now is that I can actually see.
Are we only using it for legs?
Withstood all those.
Because, I mean, the belt squat does have a lot of other things I do with it.
With their
So,
enthusiasm.
I mean, I can use it for RDLs, different row options.
You can attach a bed and you can.
All of that.
But at the end of the day, I still say hack squats after all that BS.
Yeah, I would still say hack for most people, but I will say
Everybody's still
that my beat up body really appreciates the belt squat at my gym, and I find myself wanting to finish with it all the time.
A lot less pressure on the low back.
Yeah, I just, you know what I mean? I can just focus, just make sure I get everything done.
It's a nice old man exercise. I can still squat heavy.
But here's my problem with the belt squat. Most people do them wrong. I
Yeah.
watch them pull up with their arms, use any muscle in the world to get that weight up.
All right, overrated, underrated. Stringers and or wide neck cutoffs that show off the traps.
Oh,
That's Ron's look right there.
That boat neck is a beauty.
Stringers are overrated.
For sure.
Really overrated. Because there's not enough coverage. You can't. I don't want to go anywhere in a stringer. Not enough shirt. Boat necks are underrated.
Absolutely. Bring
Because
it
there's
back.
nothing better than a great set of traps sticking out of the shirt.
Well, plus the pec line.
The pec line. If you're yoked a little bit, if you're even 50% yoked, you get a lot out of a boat neck shirt.
Takes you right to 80.
If you have good traps, you don't have to have arms with the boat neck.
No, I'm really hoping they really come back because I still have some traps.
Yeah.
Bring them back.
You can bring it. Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to say.
Could be the one.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
But a lot of times it don't
All right.
work all the time.
Ooh, I can't read that one at the show.
What? Emotion. When you're able to respond, you're much more calm.
I don't even know what this means.
Saying like,
Female firefighters.
What is it?
Female firefighters.
Firefighters?
Yeah. I have no idea what that even means. Are they overrated?
I didn't know we were rating them.
I didn't know.
As
we
long
were
as you can get me out of the building alive, you are underrated.
She'd have to be pretty strong to carry Dusty.
Yeah.
You can recklessly drag me by my foot down the stairs. I don't care. Just get me out. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Underrated.
All right.
Hey. Look at that mustache. That's a mustache.
Yes. And a firefighter.
And a firefighter.
All right.
You
got some food stuff.
Sushi.
What?
Sushi.
So it's got to be like that, and you really have to.
Well, I know Ron's vote.
Like almost like.
Go ahead, Ron. What's your vote? Go ahead and say underrated or overrated. Go ahead.
It's way overrated. It's way overrated. I don't know the attraction to raw fish. I don't get it.
Yeah. I love sushi, and I still have to agree with you. Because it's something people like. It's almost like you have to have it. You like sushi? Yeah. Like it's forced on you, like sweet tea in the South. It's not optional.
I take a little bit of pride in being one of the bodybuilders that doesn't eat sushi.
And doesn't have tattoos.
You don't eat sushi.
No, I know I don't like raw fish.
I don't eat sushi either.
Can't do it.
No.
Like cook it,
Yeah.
fry it a little. Like give me a little, you know,
Give it a hit. I love it.
give it a hit.
All right. What else we got here? There was more food. Five Guys Burgers.
Oh man, way overrated. That's a grease mess to me. I don't even follow that mess.
I looked up the nutritional facts on Five Guys, and it's terrible. I mean, it's like a huge load.
Like how many grams of fat?
Over 1,000 calories.
Right.
You know, for a burger and fries.
Pure junk.
I really like going to Five Guys.
Yeah.
I really hate reading about the nutritional information
Yeah.
of Five Guys.
Yeah.
That should be illegal to have nutritional information for a place like that. For sure.
Yeah.
You should Google.
Sometimes, and then you sit there and try to. And I suggest everybody try to journal.
There's a drone. There's a drone flying by.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
We got a guest.
We have a guest.
Oh,
What's your name, guest?
I am David Carlson.
hey, what's going on, man?
Nice to meet you too, guys.
Is this your first Arnold?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
What's the highlight so far?
The highlight, I got to meet Noel Daisel and Jesse James. That was freaking awesome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and I hope to meet Alex Shebang. That's the guy I want to meet today. And we're gonna try and meet C-Bomb later too.
Ah. Okay, make sure you get the real C-Bum and not that imposter.
Yes.
Hey?
Hey,
Don't let him sign anything
Yeah.
unless you see his ID.
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and my stepdad, he's gonna be competing tomorrow at the martial arts for Filipino stick fighting.
Oh,
Yeah, so
Nice.
it's kind of like Star Wars type stuff there too. So
Okay.
yeah.
Look at that.
I love that.
Yeah. So is this gonna be like on YouTube or Spotify?
Yeah, it'll be on YouTube and Spotify.
Awesome. Oh wow. Okay, so what's the name of the podcast again?
Yeah, there you go. You,
It's called Think Big Bodybuilding Media.
Say that one more time.
Think Big Bodybuilding Media.
Think Big Bodybuilding Media.
There you
All right, y'all,
go.
Subscribe to Think Big Bodybuilding
there it
Media.
goes.
We need this guy
Yeah,
to get
hey,
replaced.
I want
Dusty's
one more.
replaced.
He's
One more
already
thing.
converted.
Subscribe to Big D-Lo, BIGDEELO on YouTube. So the best music on literally all of YouTube, y'all.
There you go.
Right there. All right. Thank you. Thank you for letting me on.
You're a pro. You're a pro. Drop in, say hi, push your stuff. I love it.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Thank you guys.
This is the modern age here. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Flawless. flawless.
He's a
was
pro.
amazing.
He's
That
a
was
pro.
amazing.
He had everything ready to drop right at the end there.
Do we really need Dusty for this show?
I'm out.
Yeah, if he goes into another coma, I'm just gonna call him.
He'll be ready.
Yeah, we're ready. He's ready.
That's
Okay.
a perfect plan.
Okay. That was excellent. See you guys.
That was fun.
Amazing.
We should get more guests up. We should
That was
get,
good. I like
If they're
that.
like that.
Yeah, I know. That guy was a pro. He was good.
Do we have any more over-unders?
Yeah, let me see what else we got here. So, oh God, just a random comment. Mutants on a mission. Arnold Sports Festival bathrooms.
What was that?
Arnold Sports Festival bathrooms.
Oh, yeah,
We
yeah.
can't talk about that.
Well, I think they actually listened to the show because I went to the bathroom earlier and it was like clean. Actually clean.
There was a great comment on the last episode. It said, Ron's description of the Arnold Classic bathroom reminds me of every powerlifting meet ever.
All right, how about lifting straps, Versa grips, that kind of stuff? Do you need them? Are they overrated or underrated?
Strap, to me, I don't get the Versa grip.
Oh, I use them all the time.
I know he's a,
I don't do the Versa grips. I'll do a regular strap.
yeah.
You know why? Because the regular straps break.
I get the leather ones.
I've broken so many straps. I switched to Versas, and outside of me losing them, we're good.
Yeah.
Right.
But as a whole, I think they're drastically underrated if you're bodybuilding. Because why would you want to limit your lift on your little forearm strength for your back
Absolutely.
or anything else? That seems
Yeah.
silly to me.
Yeah.
Wraps are important, but I'm a strap guy.
Beautiful,
Can we
sir.
get this guy on?
Did we get Jim on?
I think we should.
Come around for a minute, Jim.
You got to come on the show now.
We gotta give him.
We got a very special guest here.
There you go.
Hello.
Jim McMahon, the CEO. Are you still CEO? You still call yourself CEO?
Well,
Mutant CEO?
till about 5 o'clock today, then we'll
'Cause
find out.
Technically, you can make up any title you want, right? You could just be boss man. You
Boss
just be any of
man,
that
yeah.
stuff.
I go with.
I get called a lot of names,
Yeah, I know.
usually by Dusty.
I'm not going to say any of those here.
No. But I was never called any of those names. But since I've met Dusty,
Yes, since I've met Dusty. There you go.
Full
So,
circle.
Jim, we also just want to introduce you to our audience. You're the owner of Mutant, the owner of Fit Foods. Obviously, Dusty and I have been working with you for a long time, and now Scott knows you. And so when we say Mutant supports the podcast, you know, it's this guy forcing the company to support
They
us.
have no choice.
well, usually it's you, Ron, embarrassing me to do it. So if I don't answer to you, we're all in trouble.
There we go.
apparently.
So
Power
yeah,
of Ron.
been very helpful. You know, so it's
Well, I'm gonna let you guys do your good thing.
right.
So I'm out of here.
Well, I will see you tonight for prejudging because apparently you have my ticket.
Apparently, I have a change of plans for you and I,
Oh, okay. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Okay.
and I'm not going to tell everybody what's going on,
Okay.
but it
Okay.
is going on.
Okay. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what I'm not prepared for.
Story of his life.
You'll like it.
Okay.
Cheers.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, boss.
Thanks, buddy.
Giant selfie with the audience. Remember how we did that last year?
We've never had Jim on the show before.
Jim McMahon.
No, for real.
Like randomly
Everybody
pulled
stand
up.
up in the crowd. Everybody stand up.
Hey.
We're going to have
What?
Hani and Phil do
How we
one
doing?
big
We had an hour yet?
selfie. Everybody
I
here.
might have to.
We're good?
Just about, yeah.
Okay.
He's got T-Rex on, so I gotta be able to do this. All right.
Yeah, it's getting louder.
It is. Do you guys want to wrap this thing up?
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. We want to thank everyone who's going to see this at home because it's going to go right up on YouTube when we're done, right?
Yep.
And so everyone at home, remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, and
Oh, there
ring
we
the
go.
bell. There we go. Thanks, Scott, for all that trouble you went through setting this up. It's been really good. We've figured out a bunch of
Big
stuff.
round of applause for
You know what I mean?
second time, Mr. Olympia, Phil Heath, and my man Hani.
And it got super loud.
Wait. Hold on.
But you guys know we're right in the mess. It's like we're right next to the stage, so it's been really, really cool.
David Bay
There we go.
refused not to be on our
Can I
show.
say that?
Yeah.
Wait.
David was on our show just like that.
Can I
Yeah.
say Phil Heath was on our show?
Yeah, there. Phil's been on the show.
Phil's
There
been
you
on
go.
the show.
Didn't even
Right
know.
Get screamed at on it.
Okay, thanks, everybody. We'll see you again. And remember, it's just bodybuilding.